Good afternoon, everybody. Windy City Thetan Watch. We're just going to take a quick run past the org, play the fun game of can you pull your blinds down? It's pretty windy out here. It's gusty. It's not really windy, so hopefully the mic's doing okay for you. And I wanted to kind of talk about last night's stream. A couple of interesting activities last night, so we'll go through that. If you're joining us on the live, a like would be great. If you're on the replay crew, hey, thanks for watching. I have been getting a little bit better at time stamping these in the evening. I know I haven't been doing the speed runs as much anymore, but I have been doing a lot of clips. The problem is I don't think the clips are publicly exposed. So, sorry about that. I'll figure that out. Hey, Dave. If you look in the comments below, I've got a couple of clips to last night. So you can see the clips if I give you the link to them. But some clips from last night. Had an interesting interview with one of the residents from across the street at the Imprint residences. Hello, Elliot. Thanks for hopping on. So a couple of interesting interviews there. The one we heard on Natalie this morning, and that was the 6 to 9 tenants in a studio apartment. I called 311 and the fire marshal kind of got back to me, and there is no, the city has no ordinances related to that. Just one second. I'm going to turn my gimbal on and off. It just went nuts on me. There we go. I think we're stable again. Hey, Fluffer. So there's no ordinance against it. They can't do anything. But what I did do, and there is a link in the description of this video, I hope, for Greystar Properties. Greystar Properties is the holding company. I think they're based in Houston. They've got apartment buildings all over the U.S. It looked like they have it all over many continents. But I did call them, and I was only able to leave a voicemail that, hey, did you know this was happening at one of your places? And kind of mentioned two options. One is, I'm just telling you this so that, hey, if you want to take action, you should take action. If you want to stand in support of Scientology, I'm more than happy to start that campaign as well. So, good morning, Fuzzy. The other clip that we have in the description is, I think I've got it labeled Good, Bad Protester. And this is more on that, what William Good was talking about with Aaron yesterday, 2 days ago. Who knows? Time flies in Scientology world. That when there's a bad actor that comes on the scene, you really want to disassociate yourself with them as much as possible. And you'll notice I don't know what's going on with the gimbal here. You'll notice in that clip that I was kind of encouraging the guy to leave, and I was on Scientology's side trying to get the guy out the door because it is private property, and the church does have the right to refuse service to anybody. So there was that. And then the final clip was the second set of officers that came to Scientology last night. The driver, well, they were in a hurry to get out of there. I could tell that, well, they just didn't want to be there. The driver refused to identify himself, so I lodged a complaint with the police this morning on that as well. And this morning, I was able to do a FOIA request. It's still pending. I'm just trying to get a list of all the calls out from to the 650 Clark. So, thanks, Ellie, for bringing up the URLs. What else? You know what? Last night, it felt awesome having trashy, severe augmented reality, severe reality adjustment, SRA, and Scientology. It was fun. We could cover both doors. We were able to engage with several people. It was a good night. I thought that was very effective. I think that we definitely overwhelmed. I don't know what is causing this. One second. I'm going to reset my gimbal real quick. So I've just turned it off. I am going to, yep, it's still off. Now I'm going to see if I can get it to come back on correctly. All right, we should be back in horizontal world. Hi, Patrick. Hey, Dragonfly. Ellie's showing you some of the clips from out of the description. Those are clips from last night. Interesting interview with a tenant from across the street. The police being called, or I'm sorry, the fire department being called on the guy on fire, and this is before the org opened. And again, I'm going to take at face value what the guy said, that the fire department was called. Something, he has a scanner. He heard that it was related to claiming that there was a person on fire. When the fire department showed up, Scientology waved them off, said, hey, nothing to see here, no reason to come in. And if the fire department had been called on us, and any of us residentially, with a problem of that nature, there is no way in the world that the fire department is going to go away without investigating. So I thought that was very, very interesting, but also I think it's a very common practice for Scientology. And we got rain off and on today. Definitely see the doors open. Somebody tried to go in the far door. I think they're going to get locked out. So we've got the door here today. It's open. We've got the blinds up. Oh, Blue Star. Hi. Look, she smiles. She knows that I'm going to wave while she's taking the ties out. Good job keeping the search secure. Don't worry about protecting the rapists. Don't worry about protecting the child abusers, but keep the church safe. Oh, yay, tag team. We get them all. Kind of saw that coming. Now, the one thing I was thinking about this time is, thanks, Selma. Sign from across the street that Trashy is asking about. Let me see. Is Trashy in here? So there is a billboard that is blacked out right now. I don't know if that might be what we're talking about. So you've got the gym, and then next to the gym, and then you've got, oh, that is the name of it, Orange Barrel Media. I'm so sorry. I don't know why the gimbal is being a jerk today. Folks, I think I'm going to take it off the gimbal. You're going to get shaky hand. Sorry about that. Yeah, Ellie, they are pretty fast today. So if you look up there, you can see that it's Orange Barrel Media. There is a billboard waiting to get used. We've got another Scientology across the street, right? The suited person. Oh, look at French cuffs. Very impressive. Mike, was that the sign you were thinking about? What I do have the name and number of the person that I spoke to last night that we had the interview with. I do think that I want to see if we can continue chatting, have conversation. I want to get in touch with the building maintenance person. Because, again, it's hearsay, but I don't understand the reason for making up a story of that nature. Yeah, it was Dragonfly, absolutely right. It is Blue Star. Hopefully I'm keeping the camera somewhat steady. Last night it was excellent because we could tell. Oh, correct. So if you were at Imprint, you would not see that sign walking to work, right? What we saw last night. Sorry, so I showed you the sign moments ago. Imprint is the 717 address right across the street. Imprint at Greystar.com. There's some information in the description of the video if you want to let Greystar know how pleased you are with the idea that they're empowering the Scientology community. Last night, because we had so many people here, they hustle. Like, people would leave the door and they would shuffle away from us to get down to this end of the street. Additionally, we could see that they would see us kind of gathered to the front, and they would all then run to the back of the building. And fortunately, all of us were pretty mobile. If we wanted to, we get to the back. So, whether it was me or Trashy or SRA, we were able to get to the back pretty quickly and see them. Oh, remember the guy that I said had the French cuffs and was on the other side of the street? Well, now he's coming at us with a nice black suit. Yeah. So you get to knock and say, "Mother, may I come in?" Yeah. Yeah. Boy, I'm going to say that I've been doing a lot of streams, so I always get the days probably messed up a little bit here. That the guy that usually does custodial type work, when I see him, he's got like a white beard, thinning white hair, and he wears a gray outfit all the time. His gray outfit still has the folds, like you just bought it at Sears, and you unfold the shirt and go ahead and put it on for the day. So. Yeah. So I will say this, that I'm impressed that he had French cuffs, but usually I would say that French cuffs, they should be a little bit more exposed than that. Otherwise, if you're not seeing the cuff link, there's really no value to the cuff link. Although I guess you could say, hey, we don't really show off our buttons, so why would we show off our cufflinks? But most people do buy nicer cufflinks. So got a gentleman standing over here, kind of hesitant to walk towards the doors. He's got an eye on me, sure that he doesn't want to. Yeah, I don't think that it really measures with them. So the guy right here, yeah, probably a public. I don't want to fall into the, everybody must be a public or everybody here is doing that. Oh, that's right. You know what? I do need to get closer to him so that I can see that, Dave. I do think that we're going to have some company. Now, what happens is, I'm curious if the church is in coordination with Paisans, and if they're just saying, "Hey, just go in Paisans if you want," it's sort of like a secret cave entrance, or the hidden entrance, so we don't have to be seen going in to Uh, Ellie, I'm putting you in charge of this one. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yep. How do you like our church? So another one walking in the civvies. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that there's been an awful lot of safe pointing, and I'm using the ex Scientology terms for that. Very possible. Yep, that might be what that's for. It's interesting. The gentleman with the NASA hat, right? He got out of his car. Um, the female in the car moved over to the driver's seat and drove off. And now he's kind of just meandering outside of the paisans. So, yeah, very likely. Like, usually the reason that you're going to pay up to have the ex-police as your security. Most of that is because these guys. One of the things you have to be in order to be in Blue Star is have good standing with the Chicago police right now. So the idea that a policeman comes here, 3 people rush him and tell him a story. The guy with the Blue Star, he's the one that's getting the officer's ears first. So, thanks, Selma. Have a great day. Um, you're wearing the Blue Star badge. The police are going to talk to you first, right? Um, the the first 2 cops we saw last night, I'm going to say that I thought they did pretty well, right? They went in. That guy was obviously trespassing. There was a drunk guy out here last night that was mingling amongst us. And he went in, and they asked him to leave, and he wouldn't leave. He said, "Hey, all are welcome." And we knew that the police would be called. The police were called. They went in. They said, "Hey, you can't trespass." Now, the one thing that I thought was very funny is, so, right, we all know there's this little curb down here. And that curb, if you touch the curb, you're on their property. If you touch the window, you're on their property. If my hand is over the shelf, they don't own that. So it's not trespassing. They don't own the air. They own the property. If they want to, they can lodge with the FAA. Now, I will say it's covered airspace, but they do not own the air. I can reach in as close as I want to on that process. So, and those police, right, they said, yeah, just don't trespass. But I think that they're frustrated that they get called out here. Now, I will say that when we tell them, hey, do you know what they do in there? It goes, that's none of our business. It's like, if you're protecting the city, it probably is part of your business, right? Maybe a little bit of investigation. Because if I said, hey, they're growing heroin in there, I guess you don't grow heroin. They're growing poppy in there, or they're growing pot in there. Would you be concerned about what they're doing in there? Yeah, you would. Yeah, absolutely. Dragonfly. So I just think it's odd that they get to say, well, we don't know anything, so we can ignore it when it suits them, right? But if there was a concern that they had that something bad was going on in there that they weren't getting paid to defend or protect, I'm sure they'd be in there, or they'd be very more interested in what we had to say. What I would love to do is see if we could get like a Claire to come out and educate law enforcement on things like this, or a Mike. I just think that Mike's got enough problems. I'm not sure I want him being my spokesman right now, but I'm sure he's knowledgeable on what the um, actions and protocols of the organization are. So, all right, that's scary as hell. Then, you know what? I wonder if we should be able to, I don't know how many still show that on the right to serve and protect is a common police slogan. Do we need to tell them, hey, that's false advertising? Cool. Not sure what else we have to. Oh, one thing that I really love being here at night as well is we can see in much better than they can see out, right? So during the day, there's more light outside the building than there is inside the building, so you get the reflection. So whenever I'm showing you, the window, you're just seeing a picture of me, and I apologize for that. You guys shouldn't have to look at me. But at night, oh, you can see straight through there because there's more light inside than there is outside. So we could see down both sides. We could see when the people were gathering at the back door. It was very, very fun for that. Got another staffer down here heading to the org. Smoking staffer, which we know that. Sorry for the jitter. And yeah, I'll try and figure out what the hell's going on with the gimbal later on. Can you tell the audience anything positive about the church? Yeah, so I don't know if being silent means there is nothing positive about the church, or if he's just embarrassed about the church. It's very strange in that situation. They have a good health protocol. Oh, excuse me, sir. He's trying to douse the cigarette. Yeah, I want to see what's causing that, Dave, because I actually have it power charged all the time as well when I'm running it. He did have the lapel pin, but it looks like it's just the cross. I didn't see anything really more identifiable on that. So, and sorry, I always, well, I either leave it up too long, sorry, Ellie, or I forget to let the audience know the comments that I'm responding to. I appreciate that you guys are engaging. So, yep, it is that great time of day when we've got the members showing up. Anything positive about the church you want to tell my audience? Is that there's nothing positive? You're not allowed to tell them? Yeah, that's very possible. I will tell you that I have been registering complaints on as many like Google review and other review sites as possible about the organization. Now, again, Blue Star has a kind of a walled garden with the idea that all of their members happen to be policemen, ex-policemen. They all have arresting powers. I don't know if they all have arresting powers, but likely most of them have arresting powers. They can all carry weapons, and they're in good standing with the police. Yeah, they're shouting from the rooftops. This is actually a pretty scary number. I'm going to tell you that they have an awful lot of college age people that are in this building. I do think that it's a compelling story at the lowest levels, right? Come in and take a personality test. So like, oh, you know what? Sometimes I am quick to react. Maybe I should read a book and see if I could work on that. And it's like, well, you could read anything on the internet and figure out why you're not quick to or why you might be quick to react on certain things as well. And additionally, right, they're here to clear the planet. They're going to save the world. Who doesn't want us to save the world? Want to share any positive experiences about the church?
Not right now.
Okay. How you doing, officer? Very well. Fun with good old boys. Wonder if I'm going to be seeing this guy in a moment. Oh. I don't know why that officer was just there, but I'm going to say that the person inside that walked out absolutely knew that he was coming. It is a police license plate. So I'm going to go with the guy's probably on duty. White shirt, so, you know, high-ranking official. We'll see when he comes out. Yeah, so it is, the MP is that it actually is a police vehicle. So it's a police issue vehicle. That's not a private vehicle. That white shirt is a pretty high rank. I don't know if it's chief, commander, or what, but yeah, the white shirt is something. More folks showing up for work. Oh, they're never going to let you in that one. That was not Captain Harris or Commander Harris. This one's always fun because locked out of my own church. Care to share any positive experiences while you're locked out? Is that you have no positive experiences or you're unable to communicate? I will. Now, I'm going to say that the uniformed ones, my guess is that they're getting a stipend. So I don't know. Like, I think their training and auditing is paid for by the church. I'm not positive on that, but I think that the uniform ones, right, being staff members, they either got a heavy discount or the church is paying for that. And then I watched Nora this morning. She did a live yesterday, I think. And she said that there's even a situation where if you've got a public who's trying to go up the bridge, they can find a partner, and on one day, A audits B, and on the next day, B audits A, and that way they don't have to pay for the auditing. So. Yeah, I do like when Shannon's out here and we're talking about the theater crowd. Yeah, that'd be interesting to figure that out. Yep, theater waiters. I'd have to look that up. I'll try and get a good still shot of him when he comes out. Yeah, I agree that that is a good question. Care to share anything with the audience about what positive experiences you've had? I don't know that they would understand what safe pointed is. It's sort of like if you're in a cult, you don't know you're in a cult. If you're being safe pointed, you have no idea what safe pointing is. Interesting. Yeah, and that's somewhat aligns with what the Nora is, and it might be that things have changed since then. Yep, last night we had the Scientology out here and severe reality adjustment, SRA, because more often than not, that's the way I'm going to remember that. Oh, more happy members. Care to share with the audience any positive experiences you've had in the church? Is that to mean you had no positive experiences? Does that to mean you can't talk? Oh, this one feels terrible. She's going to get the question on her own. And have you had any positive experiences that you care to share? No. Yeah, Trashy ought to have a good Trashy and SRA can pal around with the skateboard guy. Hey, Trashy, the one thing that we noticed is, and I'm going to say it's about probably 12:40. Yep. So last week I was here on a lunch hour once, and it was pretty astounding how much traffic there was at this time. And now, right, you've seen this big inflow of staff people. We're about to see a large outflow of staff people, and all of these staff people are going to walk straight over across the street into Imprint. In the if you look in the description of this video, you'll see the parent company, Greystar Properties. They're the company that owns the building, and I left a voicemail with them expressing my disconcern with the idea that there were 9 people in a studio apartment. It's very possible the parent company doesn't know, but if they are okay with that, I want to let them know that I'm more than happy to start a campaign and let people know that Greystar supports Scientology. Yeah, I saw that with Aaron last night as well, which I didn't reckon that I heard skateboard talk earlier in the day as well. So I thought that was interesting. Do you know what this is? It's a cult. You know that they support child abuse. They protect criminals. I don't want to leave before the officer comes back out. Thanks for that as well, Ellie. And I'm going to put a link on the website as well. Yeah. And somebody had asked earlier, right, is it just older people? I'm still rather impressed by the number of people here. When we were up at Lakeview, and Trashy was there for much longer than I was, the most that you could ever count, I mean, if you counted the union of all the people that you saw going in and out of that place, it was maybe 12 people. I would not be surprised that the number here is somewhere between 50 and 75. Yeah. We know that they've already got their grips in the colleges. They were likely here before the building was opened. I'm sure they were in these neighborhoods. I'm sure they were soliciting and proselytizing with flyers and tables outside of these, the college dorms. Keep in mind, right, we've got DePaul, Roosevelt, Robert Morris, Columbia College. Loyola's not really in this neighborhood, but there are Loyola people in here. Northwestern has a downtown presence, but that's pretty far away as well. You've got IIT, which is down at 31st Street. So.
Pretty good, pretty good. I apologize. It's a little longer.
Yeah, one thing so I liked Lakeview because you could stand on the corner and you could see both doors. So if you were alone, you could really still go and introduce people. Can you share with the audience any positive experiences you've had with the church? I do believe that people do pass through Paisans of the Alley and then come into Scientology from the back. Last night, Trashy SRA and Scientology and I were here. We could tell that they would take very circuitous routes, right? I mean, the shortest way to get to their residence, which is right across the street, is to walk out the door and cross the street. And at that time of night, there's no real traffic, so you could just walk across the street. But they would go out the back door, they'd walk down to Harrison. My guess is there are backdoor entrances to the residence. Yeah, but this one's much easier for me to get to. So I'm being selfish on this one. Thank you so much, Ellie. That'll also get you to the website, as well as there's a TikTok and some of the shorts I've been trying to post on TikTok. But yeah, they use that alley when they just don't want to be on camera, or if they don't want to go past us, right? Get PTS cooties. How you doing? Yeah, sadly this is a very good location, but it still boggles my mind. You have this prime location, and you close up the door to protect any ability to market in this space. Those two kids that just came by, they went in. Yeah, I'm not positive that was directed at me. I think this was... Yeah, my guess is they have good camera tech. If anybody's on a computer, and you can go back to when the officer first arrived, do we have a good shot of the guy in the blue suit? I think that I had the camera on him well enough. I want to see if we get some facial recognition to figure out who that was. Because now there's absolutely a story going on, or a narrative being told inside. And again, I feel like we need to somehow figure out, can we get a session with the District 1 police to say, hey, here's an hour of what Scientology does. Thank you, Ellie. Just to kind of give them this idea that, hey, this is not a safe organization. That you may have heard my friend who was out, a week ago on a Sunday, and we were just letting everybody know that they don't allow women to report sexual abuse. That her father was a chief of police just south of Florida, just south of Clearwater in Florida, and they kind of liked that. They kind of liked the idea that Scientology was there. Not that they agreed with Scientology, but Scientology was there. Were at the street level, they were good citizens, right? They didn't cause any trouble. They were just quiet, shuffled around, kept to themselves. So. Yeah, Trashy, I saw this, and I definitely think because of how petty they are with kind of getting us on these trespass calls all the time, we absolutely have to report that. And I've just been sending video clips when I do the reports. I just send video clips. I do. The statute of limitation on that is a long, long time, and you do have the good imaging. I think that her claim was I dropped the umbrella, and it's sort of like, well, okay, then you're just negligent. You're not criminal, right? But no matter what, you hit me with something, right? The other one is this afternoon. I think I'm going to go over to COPA to lodge another complaint on Commander Harris. I think that Free Xenu Project has an ongoing complaint. He may have just heard that it was forwarded on to Internal Affairs. That gets kind of scary because I think that Commander Harris has enough clout that Internal Affairs isn't going to touch him. Yeah, I thought it was extremely obvious. I'm going to get the license plate of this vehicle because I do need to head back to work. And I'll do a FOIA request on this as well. Maybe by the time I get back to work, I'll get I'll have an update on the FOIA request that I put in this morning. Yeah, what was really odd about that interaction was the gentleman that came out to greet the officer had obviously, I feel like it was a meeting fully irrelevant of me. I don't think that this is anything that it was instigated by me or my showing up. I just think that it was an opportunity to bring a high-ranking official into the org and tell him a narrative about all the good things that Scientology purports to do. I remember I was looking through the quotes of some of the Chicagoans who were on stage at the opening and saying things like, oh, I love that they do so many things for the community. And I kind of just want to say, list one, right? Give me one thing they do. They steal our taxed resources and provide no taxes. Yep, 100% safe pointing, Michael. Yeah, I don't like that at all. All right, I am going to head back to work. I definitely appreciate every tuning in today. Ellie, thanks a lot. Everybody else, thank you so much for being here. subscribe, share if you can. Just trying to help grow the channel so that more people are seeing it. And I'm seeing new names today. It's awesome. I love this. Regulator, that's a name that I don't remember seeing before. So it was a pleasure being out here. Well, except for the weather. Last night was nice. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.